Welcome back, guys, to another redstone tutorial. My name is Pi. We're going to be working on an automatic melon and pumpkin farm. You can see I've already built a melon farm here, and we're going to be replicating that here today so you can understand what I've done and how to replicate it, and actually understand what's happening so you could modify it if you'd like. So first I'll talk about the basic premise of how this works. So let's say we have, and we need a water source, a plant of a melon or a pumpkin, and you plant it like somewhere, and it'll grow eventually and start producing plants on either of these 4 blocks on either side. And the idea is, if we get an observer and we place it on top, pointing down, as you can see, so that the redstone's on top, every time this grows, it'll put out a redstone pulse. So we can then take pistons, and it's a little hard to place them. You have to like shift near the edge. If you're lower, that's easier, but if we get them on all sides, then every time this grows, if we put a piece of redstone on top, it'll trigger all the pistons. I don't think this worked before the latest redstone changes, but now that redstone is... now this will actually trigger these blocks because it's pointing that way. It didn't used to work that way. I don't remember exactly which update switched this. But if we then set the game rule, do a random tick speed higher to have things trigger, we'll see as this plant grows here that these will trigger. If it actually grows here. There we go. That took surprisingly long. Okay, so it's growing. We're going to wait here till it grows all the way. Or we'll just set it back and apply bone meal. But let's see, bone meal. Let's get some of that. So if we grow this all the way, it's all the way grown now. And so every time it grows a plant, it'll immediately get broken, whichever side it's on. So that's perfect. That's exactly how we want this to work. So now we just need to replicate this system many times, having all the plants in a grid fashion and then all the dirt for it to grow on next to it. So in order to do this, I've built here a 13 by 15 sized grid. It's 13 in this dimension and 15 going back. And that gives us this 11 by 11 section inside these walls, which is perfect because we have a 9 by 9 that we can hydrate with a single bucket of water, as well as a little extra space for the pumpkins to grow. So let's start here just by putting our unloading system that I always do. So we get in the center a chest, grab a couple hoppers, place them into the chest, get a rail on top for the minecart and a block for it to bounce off of, and then put a comparator off of the hopper, block, a redstone torch, and we're going to need a repeater as well. Redstone torch here, so when there's anything in the hopper, this torch gets turned off because of the comparator, which in turn will turn off this redstone repeater that we put here. Now in this particular design, it's very important that your redstone repeater is on 2, because unlike my potato and carrot farms, the track over there goes like this, and then it turns here. That gives the minecart enough speed to fully lodge itself, but in this track design I have, the minecart actually turns here, and it kind of stops right around here, so it doesn't get enough time. It bounces back before it registers that there's anything in the hopper if this is too high of a pull. So make sure it's on 2. So now we just have to build the platform for all the rails. I think actually here I need to extend my wall one more. Oh yes, I just didn't do it far enough on this side. So we're going to extend our rails here, and I'm going to explain a bit how I decide this. So what we want is a rail to turn off this way to start and snake around this side, and then snake around this side, because we want to make sure it hits every block. But we also want powered rails coming back. So if we grab some powered rails, so when the minecart's returning, it'll just jump this track and head back. And we're going to do a similar thing over here, where the minecart will jump the track going this way. So it'll do this side first, it'll then jump over here, do this side, bounce around, come back, and then turn down this way and bounce to here. So I'm going to just do a quick version of me building this, and then I'll finish explaining how it works afterwards. All right, awesome. We've got this set up. So if we grab a minecart with a hopper, it'll zoom around here, and it'll just go across this section, and then go over here, and it'll jump that track there to this side, bounce off this wall, and return. I couldn't find a good way of making it not have to cover some ground twice, but I think that's fine. This is actually a system you can use often to replicate, do pretty much anything. You can just snake back and forth on both sides with a jump so you can come back down the middle. And if you need to like remove one level of snaking because, like, for instance, if I had just gone this way and then gone back to the right, this would be going the wrong direction. So I did the snaking pattern to deal with that. And sometimes there's issues where it's like, what if this block was offset 1, then your snaking pattern wouldn't work. And there's all sorts of problems, but there's usually some solution as long as you bounce off a wall and repeat yourself. I like using patterns like this. So anyways, if we give this guy some items, let's see. Let's give him these melons. He's got them now. He should stop here and unload. And he barely is able to make it back to this track. If you had to extend this farther before you could put a powered rail, there'd be an issue. But in this setup, he does make it consistently. So let's get him over here real quick. All right, and he stopped. He's unloading, as we can see. They're going into here. And then when he's done here in a second, he'll take back off again at very low speed. But he does make it. It's just scary. He would not have made it much farther than that. All right, so now that that's working, we can start building up the next structure. So let's just first fill in this wall here so we don't have to leave this exposed. And then the next thing we need to do is place the dirt on top of this. So basically just above all of this section, we're just going to place dirt. So I'll be right back. All right, so now we've got our dirt section, and if we place anything up here, it won't fall through, but the second we till this ground, if you look at our Y coordinate, we're at 60 right now, but if I till, we're at 59.9375, which is barely anything. But putting us any below 60 means that the minecart can now actually pick up any items that fall here, which is why the minecart hopper system works. So we're going to till all this soil. Actually, wait, before we do that, we need to find the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the center. So what we need to do is place our water source here. So I'm going to take a half slab and waterlog it, which doesn't flow through to the bottom, which is perfect. So now that we have this in the center, as you can see, we're going to farm all this land and then hydrate it, and I'll be right back. So as you can see, the outside edge is not actually close enough to the water, which is expected. So if we set the random tick speed up, everything here will hydrate, and then everything, there's a lot of melons over there now. Everything on the outside becomes dirt again, which is fine. We're not actually going to plant here, but we need the dirt for the pumpkins or melons to grow. So we're going to actually plant both in this farm. So let me get some pumpkin seeds as well, just to show you that they work. So what we're going to do here is just place these seeds every other block. So we're going to do melons on this side here. It's a little hard to see them sometimes. I think I missed one there, yes. And then we're going to do pumpkins on the other side. Obviously we can't place one where the water is, which is fine. We just missed one spot, so I think that puts 40 plants in here. Because it would be 41, I believe, if we could put one where the water source is. So now that we've got all these plants, we just need to place all the observers on top of them, and I think I got them all. It's a little hard to tell. We'll find out shortly. So the way we want to do this, we need to place observers and we need to place pistons, and it's pretty annoying actually to place these. So for the observers, you don't want to be sneaking when you place it, or it will sometimes not place properly. That one was fine. But sometimes it will place to the side. It's not demonstrating to me well. But make sure it doesn't do this. We want to make sure that it's facing the correct direction. So you need to be as tall as possible in a sense when placing this. And then there's the inverse problem for placing the pistons, where you basically have to sneak. in order to get low enough to have a chance of placing them in the right spot. So I want to get really close to the edge, and then, but if I'm too close, obviously I'm in the block, so I need to be slightly out of the block so I can place it facing down. And then you need to place them on all sides. So we're going to do, well, technically only half the farm before there's a slight change. I'll see that placed sideways. And we'll be right back. As I said, this is a little bit annoying to set up, but it's doable. Alright, so now that we've reached the center here, as you can see, we're filling it out. We need to remember that we have to light this system. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to use jack-o'-lanterns since this is a pumpkin farm, is I'm going to place a tower of jack-o'-lanterns directly over the water source. Since nothing's growing there, there's no plant and no actual fruit, or is it a vegetable? Honestly, gotta go watch Techno's Potato War to remember that. I don't remember what he found out. I think it's a fruit. But anyways, it'll light up the surrounding region, and there's nothing else we can put here. So you might as well put some pumpkins. And technically, you don't need this top one, but just so that the whole surface is flat up here, we're going to put it. All right, so we'll finish the rest of it now. Alright, so we finished laying these all out, and there's, actually, we gotta put these on the side here. I forgot to do that. We did it on the other end, but you gotta remember on the ones on the edge to place the final pistons off to the side. So let's just finish that up real quick. And then now I can say we are done here. And so there's two things left to do. This light source is not quite enough. We need lights around the edges. And we also need to place all of the redstone on top of the observers, which is very easy. You just place it literally on top of each observer, and then they'll start triggering as the plant below them grows. So yes, this is a very loud farm. You have a minecart in addition to... ooh, I broke an observer. I think I can fix that by just placing it from above. These ones are easier to place, especially from above. You have to go inside the farm to fix a broken piston, which would not be fun. Make sure you don't connect them, because then they don't point in all directions. Notice this redstone doesn't point to these two anymore. You need to not have them connected. And so finally for lighting, we don't actually need these center dirt blocks, because nothing can grow on them, only the ones under pistons. So basically I'm just going to remove those and place them without dirt, and then put jack-o'-lanterns on top, which will provide the necessary light for the edges of the farm. So let me finish that real quick, and then we're basically done. Right, now we've got this set up, and you can see as everything grows, these lights flash. I think some of the... yeah, there we go, there was one. I don't think we'll have any plants yet. Oh, we have a couple. Maybe that was from before, actually, initial testing. Because none of these are fully grown. So we should stay at 17 for a while here. But the next thing to do, we want to close everything up so nothing can get hurt. So we're going to put some blocks out the front so that we can't actually access or have water get into our redstone and our tracks. And then we're going to put a little glass boundary around the main part of the farm so that water can't flow in accidentally and destroy everything. And that technically is all you need to do here. Everything else is purely cosmetics, which I will put in probably in sped up version, so I'd recommend staying for that if you want to be able to make it look kind of neat. Not the best builder in the world, but I can make some pretty cool ideas. So I'll probably make a really fast version of most of the rest of this, but this is all you need to do to get it actually working. You can actually grow them here. If we actually finish the growth process, That's very loud, but I see some pumpkins and melons in there now. Now that they're all grown. This farm is probably just completely filled up now because of all that growth. Probably the minecart's just going to be stopped. But now we can see some stuff going into the system. And we can hear the minecart going around, and it'll pick some more stuff up and put them in here as we finish the build. So at the end here, I'll check out how much this has improved while I do the remaining building. So first we're going to finish this up by putting some glass around the top. And then we're going to do my standard, put some of these polished blackstone stairs everywhere to cover things. So we're going to need an extra layer of the blue concrete here. And then we'll also actually want to put some glass all along on top here. So let's do that real quick. This is actually very important, as I should mention, because this redstone right now is all exposed. And we want to make sure it's all covered as well, so it can't actually get destroyed by a random water block placement, or less likely to get destroyed by a creeper blast. Obviously glass is not the best protection from a creeper blast, but at least they can't actually get into here. Alright, now that we've actually built the protective casing, we can start doing the things that make it look better. Like first, just put some stairs all around the edge on both layers. Now we just need to build something on top, and I'm going to reference this because I don't remember exactly what I did there. But I did something like, I built some walls first. And obviously this is very not important for the functionality of the farm. But if you'd like to copy exactly what I did here because you happen to think it looks good, then I guess you could just follow along. So we build these walls up. And then I can start by placing some stairs along the bottom. And let's get a slab as well. And then we can do this on all sides. Perfect, and now we can put some stairs along the top here, which means we have these entranceways we can actually still walk through. So we're going to do that along all sides. Alright, and now we can, if we look over here, I have, I believe, a stair in the center here, so we can do that as well. Give it a slight three-dimensional look. Full block on top. A stair and a slab on each side, and then if we get one of these walls, we can put the wall on top and another slab on top of that, and then I'll replicate this on each side as well. So now that we've built somewhat of a little roof structure up here, we can fill in some of the inside here with glass. So I think this is the height we want. I hope so. In fact, let's just verify this real quick. It's actually the block above. We're going to have some on that height as well. Like I said, not important for the redstone side of things, but I actually enjoy making little structures for my redstone tutorials as well. And yes, I can't remember them exactly, so I always have to go look at what I did the first time. I just kind of wing it when I'm building it, like when I was building that one over there to make sure this worked. I just played with it, edited it, kept playing with it, editing it until I liked how it turned out. Alright, so let's see how that looks. We can head out here, and I think, yeah, so I'm going to like take out the edges of this here. But I think what I did here is I then put stairs all along, and then everything else was lower. Let's see what we did here. So we have stairs. I think this is a full block. Yes, full block. And then there's full blocks. Oh yes, full blocks all along the sides here. And then I think we have half slabs here. This is almost certainly a piece of glass. Oh, there's nothing under that block, okay. But there is glass next to it. So if we go inside, that's why there's no glass block there. You can't get in. So then we can fill this in with glass. Like so. And then we can basically replicate this on all sides, so I'll do that real quick. So we're basically finished here. We've got the whole outside done. It should look the same as this one. They do appear to. But we're going to put some lighting in the middle. So we've got all these, and I'm just going to surround it by stairs, just to make it go up that level slightly. And then replace all of these pieces of glass with pumpkins in the orientation. I guess you can choose whatever you want. But yeah, like so. And then we have our lighting in here. We can look down at the redstone flashing, which is kind of cool. Although getting up here is a royal pain. You can see inside the farm. And yeah, that should be it. So obviously this top part, just a decorative roof. While we've been here though, we've gotten quite a number of pumpkins and melons. And this thing just runs. You just walk away, attach more storage to it, and that's all you have to do. So leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know any other tutorials you want to see, reaction videos, anything you want me to do. And I'll see you guys next time.